I don't believe that you actually want to learn a foreign language. Do you? Okay, so tell me how much time you actually spend every single day to make that happen. Really, answer honestly. You can post it in the comments down below. I've heard so many people say they want to learn a new language, but they come up with these excuses of why it is not really possible for them to achieve that goal. Sometimes they would even say stuff like, I guess I am not good with languages. Really? You? A human being who is inherently wired for language and who was able to learn their mother tongue says that they are not good with languages? Oh, come on. Okay, listen, take a pen and a notebook or a piece of paper and ask yourself how badly you want to learn a foreign language and what is your motivation behind it. Because these are the two driving forces. Write down your answers. Go back to that question and your answer the next day and see if it is still the same or if you want to change or add anything. Keep coming back to that question for a week. Yes, for 7 days. See how your answer looks and then ask yourself if this is enough for you to actually stop making excuses and start some serious learning. So now to all of you guys who are committed to take on a language journey, I have 6 tips to build your vocabulary and in general, learn English and any other language on earth. Additionally, I have a bonus piece of advice that I would like to share with you, so please stay with me until the end to hear it. I also included some pro tips to my tips, which are definitely a game changer for myself. So buckle up and let's go. Oh, and by the way, the language learning ways I'm about to share with you are not groundbreaking, but many learners tend to overlook them simply because they have adopted the wrong approach. So I urge you to watch the video with an open mind and consider how you can apply each of these ways, not just one, each of them, in your language learning journey. Okay, so tip number 1, read, read, read. If you want to get your language learning on, there's one magical tool you gotta have in your arsenal, a good old book. Reading is like a superpower for your brain, especially when it comes to learning a new language. The more you read, the more your vocabulary will expand, and the more you'll start to think in English without even realizing it. But don't worry, we're not forcing you to read stuffy old books. We're talking about books that will keep you on the edge of your seat, like Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, or whatever genre you actually enjoy. And if books aren't your thing, no worries. You can still get your reading fix with newspapers, blogs, or even quirky online articles. And here's a hot tip for all my language learning friends out there. If you want to get ahead of the game, try mixing things up by using both your eyeballs and your ear holes. That's right, I'm talking about reading and listening to the same material. It's like a 2-for-1 deal. Not only will it help speed up your language learning process, but it'll also improve your listening skills and help you get the hang of those tricky English rhythms and intonations, or rhythms and intonations of any language you are trying to learn. It's a win-win situation, my friend. Plus, you'll be knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone like a boss. And remember to keep a notebook close and while reading, write down any word or expression you don't know together with its definition. It might seem like a drug, but trust me, it's worth it. Not only would it help you remember new words and expressions, but you'll also have your own personal dictionary to show off to your friends or impress your crush. But wait, it gets better. Don't just write down the definition of the word, add an example sentence too. That way you'll have a better understanding of how to use the word in context. And if you're feeling extra fancy, you can even draw little doodles or use different colored pens to make your notebook pop. So next time you come across a new word, don't just brush it off. Grab that notebook and start writing. You'll be amazed at how quickly your vocab will grow. So, grab your favorite blanket, whip up a cup of tea, and let's dive into some fun-filled reading, yeah? What? You're saying you don't like reading? Oh, if you're struggling to read for 15 minutes a day, then just start with 1 minute a day. It's as easy as pie. But if you tell me you can't even spare 1 minute simply because you don't like it, then maybe learning a new language isn't on the top of your to-do list. And that's totally fine. No judgment here, my friend. Now, tip number 2. Become friends with your dictionary and your thesaurus. I know what you're thinking. Let me tell you. Your dictionary and your thesaurus are like the dynamic duo of the language learning world. They're like Batman and Robin, Bonnie and Clyde, or even peanut butter and jelly. They just go together. Picture this. Every time you come across a new word, instead of scratching your head or consulting the almighty Google, don't get me wrong, Google Translate can be a quick and convenient option for basic translations, but dictionary is a more trustworthy and comprehensive resource for language learners who want to expand their vocabulary and deepen their understanding of the language. Sorry, Google. So take out that trusty dictionary and get to work. Not only will you learn the definition of the word, but you also learn how to pronounce it like a pro. Yes, Google can also help with it, I agree. But dictionary can even also tell you where the word or expression came from. And wait, there's more. So you've stumbled upon a word you really like, but you want to add a little spice to your vocab. That's where the thesaurus comes in. Look up the word and bam, a whole universe of synonyms, words that have similar meaning, and antonyms, words that have opposite meaning, await you. No more boring good or bad, happy or sad. It's time to get creative, baby. And don't even get me started on the fun you can have with your dictionary and thesaurus. Really? You can challenge your friends to a spelling bee, see who can find the weirdest word in the thesaurus, or just spend hours flipping through the pages and learning new words like a boss. Whatever you enjoy, sky is the limit. Just know that your dictionary and thesaurus are your new besties for life. At least, they should be. And remember to always keep your notebook handy to write down any new vocab you come across together with its definition and example sentence, please. Okay, tip number 3, watch movies and TV shows. Whether you're into sitcoms like Friends, epic fantasies like Game of Thrones, or supernatural mysteries like Stranger Things, there's a show out there for everyone. Not only will you be entertained for hours, but you'll also pick up new words and phrases that will make you sound like a native. And movies? Well, let's just say they're like a language learning buffet. From heartwarming romantic comedies, to amazing science fiction movies, to emotional indie dramas, you'll never run out of options. Just make sure to choose something you actually enjoy so you don't end up snoozing through it. But don't just sit there like a couch potato. Actively listen to the dialogue and take notes on new words or expressions you come across. You'll be amazed at how many idioms and cultural reference you'll start to pick up. And if you don't understand something, don't fret. Turn on the subtitles or rewind and listen again until it clicks. And here's a pro tip. Watch movies and shows you've already seen in your native language. That way, you'll already know the story and can focus on the language and cultural nuances. Plus, who doesn't love rewatching their favorites? And pro tip number 2, repeat the sentences you hear in your favorite TV shows and movies. Not only will you start to sound like a native in no time, but you also get some serious speaking and pronunciation practice. It's like hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. And who knows, maybe you'll even impress your friends with your newfound language skills. But wait, there's more. When you repeat the sentences, they'll stick in your memory like gum to your shoe on a hot summer day. So next time you're watching Friends and Joey says, "How you doing?" you can confidently respond with, "I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, Joey." And don't worry about sounding silly or getting the accent wrong. Practice makes perfect, my friend. So grab your notebook, turn on your favorite show, and let the repetition begin. Yeah, are you ready? I think you're ready. And just remember one thing. If you're watching anything, make sure to write down anything you don't understand, but don't put too much effort into it. What I mean by this, sometimes when we watch something, we believe we have to write down every single thing we don't understand. Sometimes it's simply good to just write down 3 things maybe from time to time, rather than just stop stop all the time, stop and write it down, stop and write it down. It's just a bit too much. And then you actually may get a bit bored with that. So just like, whenever you're watching, just like say, okay, today I just want to like learn 3 new words or 3 new expressions. So I'm just going to like, write them down. And that's good. That's also good. Of course, if you feel like you want to write down everything you come across that you don't understand, that's perfect. But if you're not that type of person, it's okay to just like set yourself a limit of how many words you're actually going to note down. Okay, so now my friends, I just spilled the beans on my top 3 tips for learning a new language. But let's face it, everyone is different and has their own unique way of learning. Although I really, really urge you to use all of the ways of actually learning a new language. But now I'm going to share 3 more tips that actually might be or will definitely be super helpful. But I got to warn you, this list is totally subjective and based on my personal experience. But hey, if you have some killer tips of your own, please drop them in the comments section below. Sharing is caring, folks. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into some other great ways, according to myself, to learn a new language. So tip number 4, learning a language through songs. Now, before you start singing, I will always love you, like Whitney Houston, let's talk about how this can actually help you improve your language skills. First off, songs are catchy and memorable, making them a great tool for memorizing vocabulary and grammar rules. Plus, you'll be having so much fun singing along that you won't even realize you're learning. But not just any song will do, and that's important. You want to choose songs that have clear and easy to understand lyrics. So put down that death metal album and pick up some classic Beatles tunes or pop hits by Taylor Swift if you're learning English. And here's a tip, my pro tip. Use websites like lyrics.com to follow along with lyrics as you listen to the song. This will help you understand the words and phrases more clearly. But we're not just talking about singing along to songs in your room. You can also use music as a way to practice listening comprehension. Challenge yourself to listen to a song and write down as many lyrics as you can understand. You'll be surprised at how quickly you start to pick up on new words and phrases. And let's not forget about karaoke! Gather some friends and hit up your local karaoke spot to practice your English speaking skills while having a blast. It is simply a fun and effective way to improve your language skills. Just don't blame me if you get stuck with a catchy tune in your head for the rest of the day, okay? Not my fault, honestly. Now, tip number 5, attend classes at a language school. That's right, we're talking about learning English by attending classes at school. I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. Classes are boring. Yes, but let me tell you, learning in a classroom setting can be super fun if you have the right teacher and classmates. Plus, you get to meet new people and make friends who are also learning the language. And let's not forget about all the cool activities that teachers come up with to make learning English more exciting. From role-playing games to group projects, you'll be surprised at how much fun you can have while learning a new language. Not to mention having a structured curriculum can really help you stay on track with your language learning goals. You have a set schedule and assignments that will keep you accountable and motivated to keep improving. Plus, if you're someone who learns better in a group setting, attending classes at school can be a great option for you. You can bounce ideas off your classmates, practice speaking with them, and even form study groups to help each other out. And let's not forget about the teacher. A good teacher can make all the difference when it comes to learning a new language. They'll be able to explain difficult concepts in a way that makes sense to you and will be there to answer any questions you may have. It's great. As someone who runs an English language school, I know a thing or two about the benefits of attending classes. And let me tell you, learning English at school can be a blast if you find the right one. At our school, we specialize in teaching kids, which is not easy fit, but with our great teachers and fun approach, we found success in keeping our little language learners engaged, excited, and we actually see a lot of progress. So if you're looking to learn English, don't be afraid to give school a chance. Find a great one with great teachers and a fun approach and you'll be well on your way to a language learning success. And a pro tip here. If you're struggling to stay on track with your language learning, then attending classes at a language school is the way to go, really. Not only have you invested money into it, but you've also got a schedule that you've committed to. So you will not be able to just shrug it off and say, oh, I didn't have time today. Plus, let's be real. Who wants to waste their hard-earned cash? Not me. And I'm guessing not you either. Tip number 6, start using apps. Oh yeah. Now let's talk about learning English through apps. And let me tell you, it's a treasure trove of learning opportunities. There's a whole sea of language learning apps out there, but with the right one, you'll be speaking like a native in no time. One of the best things about language apps is that you can learn on the go. Whether you're on the bus, at the beach, or just chilling at home, all you need is a smartphone and a thirst for knowledge. But don't be fooled into thinking all apps are created equal. You need to find the one that's right for you. Maybe you prefer a gamified approach where you earn points and rewards for your progress. Or perhaps you're more of a visual learner and need lots of pictures and videos to keep you engaged. Either way, there are plenty of options out there to choose from, so take some time to explore and find the app that's perfect for you. Just be sure to read the reviews first so you don't end up with a terrible app that will leave you feeling more confused than ever. Okay, so now tip number 7, bonus one. Yes, the above ways of learning a language are amazing, but let's face it, language is all about communication. It's not about impressing people with your extensive vocab or sounding like Shakespeare. It's about being able to express yourself and connect with others. And to do that, you gotta speak up. Sure, you can spend hours and hours poring over textbooks and binging on shows in the language you're trying to learn. But if you're not putting that knowledge to use, it's all just theoretical. It's like trying to learn how to swim by reading about it. It's just ain't gonna cut it. The real magic happens when you start putting yourself out there, engaging with native speakers and making mistakes. That's right, my friends. You're gonna mess up, but guess what? That's how you learn. Nobody ever became a language master by staying in their comfort zone. So don't be afraid to take the plunge and start speaking. Sure, you might sound a little goofy at first, but who cares? You're on your way to becoming a language master, and that's all that matters. So get out there, speak up, and watch your language skills soar. Okay, that's it. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. I hope you enjoyed these tips and are feeling motivated to kickstart your language learning journey. Remember, these tips are only as effective as you make them. So make a commitment to yourself and get started right away. Don't let procrastination hold you back. The world is your classroom, and there's no better time to start than now. Trust me, your future self will thank you for the effort you put in today. So take action, stay consistent, and before you know it, you'll be speaking like a pro. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below with your favorite language learning tips. Let's grow and learn together.